Today I'm making apple dapple cake. It's one of my favorite cakes of all time. I had this recipe and made it for 35 years, but I lost it when our house flooded in Hurricane Ike. So I found it just recently in Brian Huffman's cake book, and I'm so excited to make it again. So let's get started on Darlene's table. Next, I'm going to mix together the dry ingredients. That's the flour, baking soda, salt. I have nutmeg, cardamom, cinnamon, and allspice. Into my stand mixer, I'm going to put the sugars. That's the white sugar, brown sugar, 3 eggs, room temperature, 3/4 cup of canola oil. You can use vegetable oil, canola oil. You just don't want an oil that's, you want a neutral oil. It's not going to give it taste. And 3/4 cup of melted butter. I forgot the vanilla. A tablespoon of vanilla. I'm going to mix these wet ingredients until well combined. There we go. All right, now to this I'm adding the dry ingredients slowly in batches. We don't want to overwork it. Add the remainder of the dry ingredients. It's a very thick batter, so don't worry, you haven't done anything wrong. It's my 3½ cups of golden delicious apples. To this, I'm sprinkling 2 tablespoons of flour and 1½ cups of pecans. I'll mix this up. If you like the content of this video, please like and subscribe. Now to the cake batter, I will fold in the apple and pecan mixture. Just mix until it's blended well. All right, I'm using a 15-cup bundt pan. This is the non-stick. It's the anniversary edition. And I've already sprayed this with Baker's Joy, which is a spray that has flour in it. Try to put the batter evenly around the bundt pan. And then once you've done that, try to smooth it out. And now we're going to tap it on your counter, maybe 5 or 6 times. Make sure there's no air bubbles. Into the oven at 350 degrees for 50 minutes to an hour. It only took mine 50 minutes. Check it at that point. While the cake is baking, I'm going to prepare the sauce. So we've got 3/4 cup of unsalted butter, 1/4 cup of heavy cream, and 1 cup of dark brown sugar. And I also added the remaining salt. That was a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Now you'll continually stir this. See, you're starting to see the bubbles on the edge, and I actually want to bring this to a boil for about 2 minutes. All right, now I've turned the heat off, and I'm going to add the spiced rum and vanilla slowly. Continue to stir. Stir, stir, stir. And then we'll set this aside until the cake is ready. It comes out of the oven. Ready? All right, it's been 50 minutes. I'm going to check the cake for doneness. Yes, it's ready. So mine only took 50 minutes. Now I'm poking holes around the entire hot cake. And we're going to let this cake cool completely in the pan before we remove it. So 3/4 cup of that great sauce goes over the top, and it will go into those holes. It's going to be so good. Now we'll let this cool completely. I'm just spreading it around a little, getting some from the edges. Apple Dapple cake. Like I mentioned in the intro, this was a lost recipe of mine, and if you are like me, I get attached to tried and true recipes. So I was so excited when I found it and anxious to get in the kitchen and mess up some pots and pans. And the results came out exactly how I remembered it. It was like finding an old friend you haven't seen in 40 years. Moist, dense, and full of flavor with warm fall spices and vanilla, soaked in a butter brown sugar sauce with spiced rum. Well, you could stop right there, but then there are the crunchy bites of pecans and the fruity bites of apple in every bite. Come on, this cake is a showstopper. You have to try it. Of course, you can find this recipe on my new and improved website, darlenestable.com. Remember to like and subscribe. That really helps my channel. And come back to see me soon, right here on Darlene's Table.